Welcome to the Maine Famous podcast. I'm your host, April Shaw-Beaudoin, and today I'm talking with Dom and Liz Gioia of Camden Harbor Cruises. They offer inclusive boating trips for every age. You can be 1 month old, you can be 101 years old, and you're going to enjoy your time out on the water with the Gioias. I'm excited to share this conversation with you, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Simon Griffiths, President and CEO of Camden National Bank. Camden National Bank is celebrating 150 years of standing beside the people, businesses, and communities that make Maine and New Hampshire home. And at the heart of it all is you. Every step of the way has been made possible because of your support. Even as we've grown, one thing has remained: our deep commitment to the communities we serve. We're not just here to offer financial guidance. We're here to show up, lend a hand, and be a true partner through life's big moments and everyday milestones. We're especially grateful to Maine Famous for shining a light on the local businesses and neighbors who shape the heart of Maine. Thanks for being part of our story.
Liz, Dom, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi. Yeah, thank you.
We're going to jump right in. I want to hear how you two ended up running one of the most hands-on lobster boat experiences in all of Maine. What's the origin story?
I guess it started down in Portland years ago. That's where we first met, and I was working on a couple tour boats down there. And Liz was still in college, but she came to Portland for the summer, and she got a job on a lobster tour boat, and that was mainly doing Lighthouse tours, and we just kind of hit it off. And then eventually we moved up here, and then I got a job for the previous owners of the Lively Lady.
Well, first you had a stint as a launch driver,
driving
around the harbor, launch driver, and then
got a job, for the previous owners. And but then after a year, we were expecting our first child, so I kind of I needed to make some money, so I went commercial lobstering. Okay. But I told the owners, I said, hey, I really like this. I had a feeling that they weren't going to stick it out for too long. And I said, if you ever want to sell, give us a call. And sure enough, they did.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then I went to school, University of Maine, Presque Isle, for outdoor recreation and tourism.
Oh, okay.
And then I wanted to be a park ranger. But then when I graduated in 2004, they were laying off all the park rangers, one of the recessions and stuff. So I just moved to Portland and started working on boats.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And are you both Mainers? That's one thing I always love to cover in the Maine Famous podcast.
Yeah. I was born at Penn Bay Hospital.
Okay.
Both my kids were born at Penn Bay.
I was born in a little shack in the woods in Troy, Maine.
Were you really?
Yes, I was. Yep. Yep. Back in my parents were both hippies, and they had a little commune up there, and that's how it all started there.
That's so funny. We had Brady and Jessica Brim DeForest on. They have Camp DeForest, and he delivered the last 2 children that they have together. And I was like, oh, you don't get to hear that story very often.
Mine were just
but
you can see the hospital from the water in Rockport. It's just kind of neat. Yeah.
But you were nursing.
I was I went to nursing school, so there was a little bit of a my summer in college, I worked in Portland on the lobster boat, and then I got my nursing degree, and I worked in Portland for about 4 years. Then when we moved here, I worked at the pediatric office for about 4 years, and then when we became successful enough for me to just do this, so there was a bit of a overlap of kind of other careers.
And do you drive the boat? What is your role on the Lively Lady now?
I don't drive the boat. I'm not a captain. I will be a crew member, a deckhand. So give out the information. I'll do ticket sales. I have a really great ticket seller, Holly, that will kind of does full-time ticket sales, and then I'll fill in the blanks there. So answering the phones. So you might see me on the boat giving a tour. I do a little less of that. It's mostly in the summer, so we have our 2 kids as well. So I'm kind of just a little bit of everywhere. Sometimes there's some really neat charters in the evening out to Turner Farm or weddings or We've done documentaries where
Oh.
people have brought film crews on the boat, and
Oh, wow.
I don't always get to do those though because they're a lot of times in the evenings, and I'm with our kiddos. So just kind of a little bit of everything.
She does most of the behind the scenes stuff though.
Okay. But you're front of house.
Yes.
You're in front of all the customers. You are a boat captain.
Yes, I am.
And do you do the tours?
I do the tours. Yep.
Okay. What is one thing that people always are surprised about when you give a tour?
A lot of it is, once you get on the Penobscot Bay, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
Especially one of my favorite spots of the bay is we go across to kind of the Mark Island, Robinson's Rock area, and it's a large wildlife habitat with hundreds of seals, and we'll see porpoises and all sorts of different seabirds and sometimes ocean sunfish. And every once in a while we'll catch a whale going across, but some people just, they don't realize just how gorgeous it is out there and all the wildlife. And then you never know what's going to come up in the lobster traps too. That's always a surprise. So just a lot of times you'll see it in people's eyes when they're out there and they're just like, holy cow, this is absolutely gorgeous. And it is.
It is gorgeous. I went out on the Lively Lady a couple summers ago, and I think I learned a lot about the green crab and how they're really invasive.
Yep.
So it's like a little marine biology lesson.
And you never know what we're going to get into. So that trip, somebody must have asked about a green crab, and we would go into that. Sometimes it'll be, depending on the group of people on board, we might have one person on a charter. You did one where you went out for 8 hours with a lady taking just photos, wildlife photos. Might be a couple going out on, or it might be a full boat, but it kind of depends on what people are doing. And Dom mostly does those charters. And then we have a really great staff that on the Lively Lady.
That lady was great.
Because you can't be on two boats at once,
No.
unfortunately.
I took her out first. She just wants to take photographs of the bay, and we took her out for 8 hours, just all around the bay, kind of all my favorite spots. And then she went down to Portland and went out on some boats there. And then our plane got delayed. So she called back. She says, I want to go back out on your boat again. And so she came back up. We did another 8-hour trip around.
You did?
Yeah. She was awesome.
And I still stay connected with her on social media, seeing all her pictures. So it's really neat, the connections. And I love seeing the kids out there for the first time holding creatures.
Yeah, because that's the other part. So you have two boats, just so I'm making sure I'm setting the stage properly. You have two boats. One is it's solely private, and it can fit 6 people. Is that true?
Nope.
It can fit up to 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
We're registered for 19.
Okay.
It's a larger boat. And that one's just private trips. And then the Lively Lady would be, if you have a larger group, we can do charters on that. But also you just pay per person, and you get on with other people and learn about what we have to offer. Yeah.
And you get to actually watch lobsters get hauled, which I think is interesting. Even as a Mainer, I grew up in Maine. I don't think I ever saw a lobster trap get hauled until I came to Rockland for my friend's bachelorette party. They went out and she hauled.
Oh yeah, those are
lobster.
the most fun. Yeah, we've done a lot of those. I say, do you guys want to haul a trap? And they go, I don't think so. And I'm like, you do want to haul a trap. Yeah.
We got great pictures, but I had never seen that. And that's really fun. And so for people who didn't grow up here or they're visiting for the first time, that's like a really core memory for kids and adults.
And we'll even get people sometimes, a family will book a trip and there'll be a commercial lobsterman from the area on the boat and they're still having fun. It's just a lot of fun.
What has been the most surprising thing that you've hauled in a trap?
Oh, we get some strange fish every once in a while. Trying to think of the strangest thing. Like some mackerel. We caught a nice straight bass once in there. And
once I saw an eggplant floating by on the water. Not in the trap. Different fish. Sometimes you'll pull it out of like a bed of like sea stars. And there'll be itty bitty sea stars that are really, really fun. If you kind of throw your trap back in, and on our mat, there might be all these tiny little creatures that somebody, on a commercial boat, they're not going to look at those things. But it's really interesting to see all those small creatures down there.
Yeah, we caught a was it a wolf fish once? That was pretty
What is
interesting.
a wolf fish?
It's just a really big, ugly fish with big teeth.
Oh.
And, it's always surprising, when you get something. And then we'll get these, they're sculpin. And they pretty much look like the cross between a fish and a goblin.
You're supposed to kiss them and throw
No.
them back.
We always make someone kiss them, throw them back, and
For
supposed to give you
whatever-
good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Yeah.
And they do it.
Usually, yeah. And if someone doesn't do it, then one of the crew will.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing you two offer are lighthouse cruises. So people will see lighthouses when they go out with you on the Lobster boat cruise. They get to see Curtis Island every time. Is there any other lighthouses that they'll see every time on the Lobster?
They'll usually see Indian Island, which is in Rockport.
Okay.
It kind of, our routes vary a little bit, but you'll always see, I think one of the things people think is we're either lobstering or seeing lighthouses, but most of our trips have a mixture of both. We have our morning lobster haul, but on our other trips, we haul lobster traps too. So you're going to see a mixture of everything. But the Sunday morning lighthouse cruise will go in a big loop around the bay and see 5 lighthouses.
Can you name all of them?
Yeah,
Yep. So we'll see Curtis Island Lighthouse, Indian Island Lighthouse. Then we'll go down to Rockland Breakwater, and then Owl's Head Lighthouse, and then we'll go across the bay to Brown's Head Lighthouse.
Is that Vinyl Haven or?
Yep, Vinyl Haven.
Okay.
Yep, Brown's Head.
And then Sunday afternoons, we'll go in the opposite direction to Islesboro and get off on Islesboro and see Grindle Point Lighthouse.
Okay.
So not as many lighthouses, but we actually get off on the island.
Which
yeah.
is so cool.
And then the American Lighthouse Foundation, that's kind of has their home, I guess it's their home base at Owl's Head Lighthouse. They do some special trips with us that we go some of them are like 8 lighthouses, like these 8-hour trips.
Some of them are even 13.
Yeah, so those, we don't have those, we have those kind of in the works. Those schedules will be coming out soon, but we'll maybe do 4 or 5 of them over the summer.
Okay.
Full day, pack a lunch, and go see a bunch of lighthouses with other people who are also
excited
crazy about lighthouses.
Yeah. What is the ratio? How many people are Mainers on those trips versus people from away?
I don't know. I don't get to go on those trips.
On the big lighthouse cruises, I would say most people are from away.
Trying to check off the main lighthouses. They have like their lists. They want to see certain ones. Yeah. And we'll get charter requests of people who haven't seen a certain one and they want to go see one.
Okay.
And sometimes it's hard to talk people down because they say, I need to see this lighthouse and this lighthouse. It'd be like, Mount Desert Rock Lighthouse and Matinicus Lighthouse. And we're saying, those are extremely far away.
Hours away.
To a lot of people, the Maine coast of Maine doesn't look very big, but it's massive. So sometimes we have to tone them down a little bit. Wasn't there one guy who wanted like 20-something lighthouses in one day? And we're just like, we can't do that.
And sometimes we'll do, what's nice about those longer trips though is we can hit some areas where there might be some puffins too. There's some
special.
we don't do a lot of puffin trips because there's some areas, Port Clyde and New Harbor, that it's a little easier to get to the puffin habitats. But we do a couple that we'll see the puffins, which is, we have some groups, wildlife tour groups that'll go out there. So those farther lighthouses, sometimes we'll be able to do some puffin watching, which is neat.
And everybody can book these cruises right on your website, CamdenHarborCruises.com, correct?
Yeah.
Correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we
If I did my
plug
job,
that.
if I did my job right.
Yes, you did your job right. All right. I'm going to pause another second and just take a look at some of my questions that I wrote. Are there things you want to make sure we cover?
We have our buddy.
And how long have you been doing this? How many years has it been?
Let's see.
11 or 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I think this might be.
And it's definitely
season.
grown. We've changed our schedule as we've figured out kind of what people want to do.
Okay.
But we definitely went from low numbers to people coming just to head out on the Lively Lady again. And some people we're starting to get groups of people like my age that were on the boat when they were little, and now they're coming back to go on it, which is really neat. That's
really special. So you've been doing it for 12 years. How do you keep it staying interesting to both of you? Well, that was part of one of the reasons why we got the second boat. It's because, when
even doing the 4 or 5 different trips daily, it can, after doing it for years and years, you start getting a little, want to do something else. And then got to the point where we were busy enough where we were getting these really cool charter requests, but we couldn't do them because we were, the boat was already full or whatever. So we ended up getting the second boat and kind of branching out to doing all sorts of different stuff.
Started a little bit with social distancing. There was a lot of people who wanted a private boat. And it's continued to just all these cool events that people think of.
Has anyone got married on your boat yet?
Yes, I did the ceremony.
Did you really?
So we've done a couple weddings, lots of bachelorette parties.
What else? Proposals.
Yep.
There was one where the guy wanted me to actually put the ring in a lobster trap and then haul it back up. And I was like, I can't do that. It's like a lot of stuff goes on down there and I do not want to lose this ring. So we actually distracted her a little bit where I gave her a lobster and then slipped the ring in there.
Oh,
so that
that's adorable. Well. When I was thinking about who I wanted to have come on the podcast for this season, we live in Camden. We started as Camden famous before we were Maine famous. And the thing that people come to Camden for, one of the big draws is getting out on the water on Penobscot Bay. And there's a lot of people that can come out and go on a sailboat. And a sailboat is wonderful. And I've been on enough sails here where I see kids get really bored. It's 2 hours of quietness and it's a lot of adults. And they're like ready to jump off the boat. And then I've been on the Lively Lady and the kids are engaged the whole time. And so are the adults and the parents. So I think this is a really great family-friendly activity, which we don't have tons of family-friendly activities in Camden. It kind of caters to an older crowd. So this is something really special that you're doing. And it's not just for kids, though. I mean, tell me about what are the age range that you've seen?
0 to 100 plus. I mean, we see kids have a great time on all of the boats in the harbor. What's nice is they can go on one of the sailboats and come on. We see people say, oh, we just went sailing, or well, you can do both because they're both very different. But we've had babies, and I mean, I did the narration on a tour with our 4-month-old son in a pack, and then
I've driven both the boats with both of our children in a pack on my back before.
And then we have because we have we're stable with benches, so we can have older folks come on. We can help them on the boat. People bring their little pads for the bench, and so really kind of. We can usually get everybody on board and enjoy. If they're really little, we might have a Jonah crab that has a rough back and they poke it. And then you might have an older person who remembers going out on the boat when they were little or something like that.
I do think that's really special. It's hard to offer an activity that is inclusive for everyone. And I think you guys are able to do that. And that's really special. Yeah. So
we try to. Yeah.
I also want to know a little bit about what you guys do in the off season, because when are you open? It's you start your season when?
So we have, our charter boat, Periwinkle, that one stays in the water year round.
Okay. That's right around the corner.
Yep.
Okay.
So we do offer trips. It slows down drastically. This winter, the harbor was pretty much frozen all winter, so we didn't really do many.
No, we didn't really. Yeah. One year we did brought some workers out to one of the islands. They were doing some electrical work in North Haven. So, sometimes we'll
transport.
have transport. But then the kind of the real season starts. We start at mid-May, like the weekend after Mother's Day, and then this year we're going to go to the end of October. We usually stop mid-October, but we're going to do an extra week because we always find that week is busy if the weather is nice.
Yes. And the foliage is so beautiful to see in October. And the Curtis Island with the lighthouse and the trees, and then Camden Hills is in the background. I mean, bring your phone fully charged so that you can take all the photos.
Yep.
Not binoculars, phone, yes.
And people can bring snacks when they're going out.
Yeah, food, drink.
Okay.
Some of the private events will have something catered.
And Camden Charcuterie is opening here on the wharf where
Saw
we're
that.
filming today.
Yeah.
So that will be a great snack for people to grab and join you for a sale or is it not a sale?
People can still call it a sale.
Yeah, we
Okay.
call it a sale.
Okay, good. All right. So coming back to what you both do in the off season. So if you're pretty much wrapped up by the beginning of November and you have all the way till May, what do you do with yourselves?
Well, we do have to do a lot of prep for the next season. So Liz will be working out contracts with different companies,
some of the
booking
larger
charters,
groups booking for the next year.
weddings. That was, get a plan way ahead for a wedding. And maintenance, the Lively Lady is a 55-year-old wooden boat. So there's a lot of work there. But we also try to enjoy ourselves a little bit too. Do a lot of skiing.
Yeah, we live by the Snow Bowl, so we do some skiing and
I like to play hockey in the winter, and Liz likes to do a lot of pottery in the winter.
yeah. So we try to fit in some hobbies, but we have lots of that's when the school year happens too. So lots of kiddo activities, but we try to get outside in the winter.
Yeah, so you're outside year round.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm an indoor cat. I don't do anything from November till March, except sit by my fireplace.
I like to do that too.
Yes, you have a really nice wood stove. And I think I heard you were part of the toboggan races this past year in Camden.
We did it. We used to do it pretty regularly every year, and then kind of took a little bit of a break because the kids were young, and then this year we did it again. Got a phone call from someone saying, "Hey, the old toboggan pass inspection. Let's get her going." I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So,
how'd you
it's
place?
A lot of fun.
Have you ever won?
She did one year.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
Me and my best friend were on a 2-person team, and we have the trophy.
Whoa! Congrats.
And with the 4-person team, we've qualified to the finals. We used to do top 10 this past year.
It was really cold the morning for the second one, and they chickened out.
I was ready to go, but the other guy said, "I don't think we're gonna make it for
our toboggan's
Sunday."
Our toboggan's pretty old. Not that matters, but usually you beef it up a little bit.
So we just did it for fun this year.
I know one of the things I ask all of the podcast guests to do is to bring some props for some fun photos. But Liz just let me know a minute ago that she brought props that she wants to bring out during the interview.
Let's see.
I'm a little bit scared. So if you're just listening, you should
just a boring buoy.
Yep.
Get over to YouTube and watch the video part of this episode.
What do we have in here? We've got some seaweed.
Yep.
Okay.
What's under the seaweed?
Love how seriously you took this assignment. Oh, God.
Some rockweed.
All right. Tell us about this rockweed. Do you know a lot of facts about everything? Oh, and you have
about
a lobster.
Everything. I know no facts about the rockweed. I like seaweed, though. And here's a lobster.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see him. I'm going to hold him.
Yeah. So this is the excitement. You put one of these in somebody's hand for the first time, and they're like, they want their picture, and they're able to check them out a little closer.
Classic Maine moment.
And if you have a child who's just screaming, you take a lobster out of the tank, you put it on the floor in front of them. They're done. They're okay for the rest of the trip.
One of our crew members will bring a bag of carrots, and he will, because they have a really, obviously really strong claws, and he'll take these off.
Oh God, she's taking the elastics off the claws.
He'll put the carrot in there and show everybody, if they come right out of the water, fresh out, they're really feisty. So they'll snap that carrot right in half. So all of our crew members have kind of, tricks up their sleeve.
I was alarmed.
No, we don't have our band.
Well, I'm alarmed that there's no band on this lobster claw right now. But when I saw how strong, we were on that cruise where the crew member brought the carrot and it went, psh, and I was like, Okay, that's a different level. Okay, I'm so glad that they do put lobster, that they put the elastics on. What are tell me about your crew members, because I know you're really proud of them.
We are.
Yeah. So most of our crew members we've had for years and years, and they absolutely love it. We've got one gentleman, Burke. He's the one that brings out the carrots, and he's got the thick Maine accent, blueberry farmer, and he's a real big history buff. So he's always
Everybody's cruises. If you get me, you might get a little more wildlife. With him, you might get more history. Everybody kind of has their
niche.
Yep. And then we've got another guy, Rich, which seems like a normal person, but then once you dig a little bit deeper, he's a professional trumpet player.
Oh.
We had to give him time off a few years ago, which I can't believe he needs next weekend off, last moment, but he had to play for, who was it? Neil Diamond. Down in Boston.
God.
Photographer. I mean, if you
used to
high
be an
school
Olympic
principal.
swimmer.
I mean, you name it, he's done it. So
wow.
And so everyone brings their own little aspect of it. We like it so someone can go on the tour one week and then go on the next week, and it's a different tour. And they'll still get the basic facts about the lobsters and the lighthouses and stuff, but what everyone brings to the table is a little bit different, which makes it fun.
And they're locals, which is really special. I know some people bring in, registered guides from around the country. I know they do that a lot in Bar Harbor. So it's so nice that it's local.
Yeah, some people. We had one young lady who grew up in Illinois, but her family used to be she knew enough and loved the area enough that she was able to make it happen. I think everybody's from around here. Yeah. Really cool.
Well, we're getting towards the end of the interview now, and I want to kind of set the scene for people. What do you hope and what do you hear that people take away from spending time with you and being out on the Lively Lady, being out on Periwinkle?
A lot of people always say, I didn't realize so much went into these lobsters, getting them on your table, all the regulations, everything you have to do. So that's usually what a lot of people talk about. They're getting off the boat. And then I think something else here. Just the overall beauty of the bay. Yeah. And a lot of people comment on how clean it is up here.
Oh, yeah.
And we have nets on both boats. If we see a soda can or a water bottle, we'll spin the boat around, get it out of there. But everyone just, they say, I can't believe how clean it is here. And I think Mainers and locals, they really take pride in that. And we try to keep it clean.
I agree.
And then every once in a while, we'll have someone comment on the river saying, you can tell they're from the West Coast. There's not a lot of fresh water. Say, is that just fresh water just going into the ocean? It's like, there's a lot of water up here.
Yeah, I like seeing the smiles getting off the boat. It's really nice to see. As a ticket seller, I would go down and greet them as they come up, and it's just nice to hear. Oh, that was so much fun, or I got to hold a lobster. Yeah,
it's just such a feel good activity. People are going to have such a core memory made when they come out with you, and that's amazing.
Pretty much everyone has a really good time.
All right, well, we're just finishing up, but we're going to get into the lightning round in just a moment, so buckle up.
Okay.
But first, a word from our sponsor. Taking care of your home just got easier. Porch Roofing is a full-service exterior company, providing roofing, gutters, exterior services, and a full repair division, all with one trusted team. Visit horchroofing.com or call 207-250-5529. Samples Shipyard in Boothbay Harbor is one of Maine's most iconic working waterfronts. They handle wooden boat restoration, modern yacht service, and everything in between. It's a place built on generations of craftsmanship. Contact them now about moorings, dockage, service, and storage. Come walk the wharf at Lyman Morris. Grab a coffee at Vacation Land, pick up a board from Camden Charcuterie, sip a cocktail at Blue Baron, and then head upstairs to Salt Wharf for dinner. And don't rush off. Stay for the sunset. It's the sunny side of Camden Harbor. And we're back. Are you ready?
Ready.
I'm ready.
Lightning round question 1. What is your favorite part of Penobscot Bay to show first-timers?
The lobsters.
I like being out. Dawn was talking about Robinson Rock out where the seals are. I actually like then you turn around and look back at the harbor and the Camden Hills are just, it's really, really cool.
I agree.
Kind of don't expect it. Looks really neat from the water.
Number 2, what gets people more excited on board? Lobsters, seals, or lighthouses?
People do get really excited when they see the seals, I have to say.
Yes.
I think they expect the lobsters. I mean, they do get excited about that, but they don't realize how cute the seals are going to be.
Especially in the spring with the baby seals. Yep.
Number 3, a question that you get asked every single trip.
What do you do in the winter?
That's a good one.
Where do you go in the winter?
Are the lobsters okay out of the water?
Like a fish.
Yeah, can they still breathe?
Where's the best place to get a lobster roll?
Yeah, that's another one too.
We could go on.
What is the best place? What do you say?
My answer is I don't eat a lot of lobster rolls out because we get our own lobsters.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. Number 4, what is the best snack to bring on a boat?
Not popcorn.
Not popcorn.
It's a good one.
I don't know. Anything you like. I'm kidding. The wind blows, the popcorn goes everywhere. It's fine.
Do the seals eat popcorn?
I don't know. They eat anything, I think.
Number 5, what's one thing that Mainers know that visitors usually don't?
The tides.
The tides are a big one.
People are like, their minds sometimes, if they're not from the coast or where the tides aren't, about 8 to 12, 14 feet around here, their minds are kind of blown. They'll be like, I thought the boats were way down here before. So that's really, really interesting.
That you can't get to Stonington in 10 minutes across the bay.
All right, this is the last question. I'd love for you each to answer it. Finish this sentence. The perfect Maine boat day includes...
Fun.
Ooh, the perfect ice cream.
Ooh, and where is the perfect ice cream?
What do we usually... I mean, the kids, if we're down at the harbor, we're going to River Ducks for some ice cream.
Yeah.
Or Camden Cove.
It's so pretty at River Ducks.
Yep.
And the sundaes are so amazing at Camden Cove. So it's tough to decide. Awesome. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was easy.
That was easy.